Hello, and thanks for tuning in to As Word Spreads, a BC podcast by youth for youth.
Okay, this episode we are going to talk about the audience that we want to listen to our podcast and the segments that we're going to be talking about throughout the podcast that we are doing.
And then youth aging out of care and the pros and cons of that, and like what could be uprising, what the difficulties are about it. So start off, we're just going to talk about who our audience is and what they might be interested in. So who is our audience?
Right now, I feel like we don't really need an age restriction for it, because like we're covering such a wide
variety of things. Yeah, all ages are interested in this kind of stuff. Doesn't have to be just youth. Doesn't have to be just old people. Like
it can be everyone.
It's everyone.
Elders,
Like
elders.
Sorry, elders. Respect your elders, everyone. But it's kind of like everyone, everything. Like just.
If you're interested,
like this kind of stuff,
freaking listen, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The topics that we're gonna be covering are, like we said, very wide range. Like
General youth news, so like education focus.
Yeah.
Then guests individual stories, so that can be anything like trauma, loss, different mental illness, and substance use. So I think just kind of discussing that, the pros and cons of it, and then getting to the point of why it is the way it is for youth, and why it is the way it is for service providers, why it is the way it is for elders. Like it ranges differently for everybody.
Like mental health kind of stuff.
Too.
Okay, and like.
Yeah.
So and just random things.
And
that
then
we think of,
MCFD
right?
watch. Fuck is that?
MCFD. Okay. The MCD is like what's going on with the budget cuts and how that is really fucked up, because like the ministry is like getting actually so bad, and like they need to like stop being greedy. They're cheaping the hell out, and they need to start thinking about like the people in their care, kind of thing.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah,
like
right?
we're in their care. Like
stop cheaping out. Like
if you actually do care, like
right, like the ministry, like your foster care kind of thing. Like it's like a air quote on fake family, but like it's like I don't know, like it's supposed to like represent a real family, right? So like if it was your real child, you wouldn't be cheaping out on them, right?
Yeah.
So like why should they be cheaping out on us, kind of thing.
So I think other segments and ideas we want to do is like I said, youth issues focus, specific news stories, social workers and burnout. Like we were just talking about this today actually, and personally I've never heard anything about it, but I think it would be very interesting to listen to, like why do they burn out? Why do they give up? Why does things like this happen to those kind of people? Does it happen to everyone? So I really think that's a really good thing to be discussing. And there's like I said, a lot of more things, like just kind of social news, anything that's going to be really uprising in the community, British Columbia. And then another thing is like who are some guests we want to bring in? And so just for me, I think two people that I really do look up to are Mark Littlefield. Some of you may have heard him. He's pretty big across the Fraser Valley. He's a guy who speaks about youth rights. Yeah, youth rights, and he's really passionate about it too. Like I've done workshops with him. I've listened to him. Like the first conference, the first kind of thing I ever went to that got me wanting to do social work and all of that was listening to him talk about youth rights. So he's a really powerful guy, and so I think it'd be great to have him in here and speaking about that. He's great. And then another lady would be Margaret Stigsworth, and she's also a lady I work with who talks about gambling awareness. So and then it's not just for adults, but it's for youth. And it's more of addictions awareness too, so like getting addicted to drugs, getting addicted to a certain lifestyle, getting addicted to gambling, smoking, you name it, she talks about it. And she's also very powerful about that. So I think it would be great to have her in. She's a wonderful speaker and, like I said, really passionate about what she does.
Yeah, I think she came to my school
once
and made it it was very powerful.
Did she do a slideshow?
Yeah, she did. Yeah.
She did a slideshow, and now we're doing youth presentations, so you can go to schools and present about it instead of her slideshow. But yeah, she's really great.
One person I would really like, or like a type of person is like social workers. Like I would like to like actually bring like my social worker and see like how he views like the ministry and stuff, and like how he deals like with the kids and That'd be interesting.
Yeah, it'd be really cool to hear like a social worker's perspective on how it is to work with youth, because I know exactly how it is to have a youth work with a social worker, but what's going on in their head when they're talking with a kid who's suicidal, when they're talking with a kid who's addicted or just lost something really important to them. I'd love to hear that, and so I think we'll definitely have a lot of those, kind of like counselors, teachers, service providers in general. So I think, yeah, that'd be really cool to have some of those people come up.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Something different, I think it would be cool to have like the YEG come in, like some YEG members.
Oh, yeah.
Like the youth as gatekeepers, and just like kind of like educate people on like the whole mental health stuff, like trauma and loss and grief, you know?
And what about the LGBTQ
plus
community?
Yeah.
Where are they at? They gotta
Yeah.
come join. I'd love to hear that. You know what? Being in this whole kind of like work for the last almost 2 years, I've never heard any, like I've heard about them, but I haven't heard any workshops, and I think it'd be great to have
Actually,
have
be
more
like,
known.
yeah.
Yeah, so I think definitely bringing them in here and hearing like what is it about? Why is it so stigmatized? And so yeah, I think it's just really, yeah, that'd be great. I like
It's 2016 people.
2016.
It's
Come on,
2016.
keep the shit straight. Yeah.
Okay. We're done? Yeah.
We're done.
We're done. Okay, so for youth, aging out of care.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Aging out of care. Sorry, I looked that up.
Sorry, I looked that up.
So there's a big problem because like as soon as you hit 19, the ministry drops you like a sack of potatoes. And you get no help whatsoever. You have to like be able to like move out on your own and stuff. Like, what do you guys think about that? What should be done about that?
I feel like they should at least get a bit of support to be able to stay with their family until they're done college if they choose to go there. I feel like they should have a place to stay at least until they're older than that, because there's lots of kids out there who have been adopted or were just born with their family that have that choice to stay with their family until they're ready to move out. When as for foster care and the kids in there, they get booted out as soon as they can, whether they have money or not, right? So I think it's just really unfair to them. But then there's this new thing coming in where people are wanting to donate money, I think, to give them checks, to pay for their college, to pay for all of this kind of stuff. And I feel like they can do that, but only to a certain extent. Because if they're paying for a kid in foster care, if they're paying for his or her college, then what's it mean for the kids that are in families and their parents can't pay for college? Like,
True.
I understand that they all have different pasts, different good, bad families, but in the end of the day, I don't think anybody should have their college paid for, because that's something you choose to do, and that's something you choose to, like, get a career and all that. And so giving them that advantage, yeah, they've had probably a really hard life, but I don't think we should be paying for their college. You can pay for their rent for the next few years, maybe months, I don't know. But if you're going to pay for their college, that's just kind of like saying, here, we know you've had a hard life, but we're just going to throw money at you and hope it gets better.
So, like, there should be limitations to, like,
limitations
what kind of money
to
you
the
do.
kind of money, yeah.
They also should like know how to use it, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, responsibly.
like the whole planning situation, like
And
you need to be stable.
Yeah. How about, like, an age restriction thing? Because, like, some people want to, like, cut it, like, when you get cut off at 19, they want to raise the age to like 25. Do you think that's a good age, or like should it be like lower?
I think it should be raised to like 23 or
23? Yeah, okay.
25 is like, okay, now you...
Yeah, you're an adult, you've got your shit together,
yeah,
kind of,
you
right?
gotta get it going. You're not a kid anymore.
Okay.
Because I know like most youth groups are from like 12 to 24, so I feel like they should just have every age at like 24.
Yeah, it's like that. Youth clinics, it's like that.
Yeah.
A lot of groups, like youth drop-ins. And once you hit that 25, it's like, okay, now here's adulthood. You've had 6 years to get used to it. So now's your chance. And if you don't, then we can't do anything about it. And it's not just like that for kids coming out of foster care. If they were to raise the age limit up, it's like that for everybody. You name it. 25 is the age that you're like out of being a youth. I mean, there are a few things that go to 30, but barely any. Like I know like two groups that aren't even in the Fraser Valley that go to 30, and it's just like, it's not the same for everybody.
I feel like you basically become an adult when you're 25.
Yeah.
Like,
and I'm glad it's not 19 though. Like 19 is too young to
that
become
is
an
way
adult.
too young, because like you're still trying to figure out your shit, right?
Yeah, like if you're going to university, if you're going to trades, whatever, you should still have that support as a family. And I know a lot of foster kids coming out of foster care don't have that support, but I really do believe that after they're 19, they should be able to get those supports, whether it's a counselor, whether it's like a second mother, you know, whatever. It's like they should supply them with somebody like a big brother, big sister, whatever, to give them the
connections
they need.
Yeah.
The connections, the resources,
That's
so
like
they can
the main
navigate
thing.
their way through the groups,
Yeah.
through the social system and all that. What do you guys think about money? Like, how much should they be getting if they were to?
Okay, I feel like you should be like, to be able to receive the money, you should like have a job at least, or like, so like you can have like some independence, like, so you don't rely on like the ministry's money kind of thing.
Yeah,
You know? So like maybe enough for like rent, I don't know, like
for rent, Carol.
rent, like
So, like,
personal stuff.
we were kind of talking earlier, and like, you know how people get to have like youth agreements.
Mhm.
So they pay for your rent and then give you like allowance money for like your food and your clothes and
Yeah,
stuff like
they
that.
give you
But
$6.25
that's
for rent.
yeah, that's as long as you're going to school or if you have a job.
Yeah, so they should.
And that's only until you're 19 too, so
Yeah.
They should raise that up where they can get the money they need if they are holding something stable, whether
Mhm.
that's school,
Yeah, of
whether
course.
that's a
Yeah.
job, whether that's volunteering. As long as they do something to make up for that money, then I
Yeah.
say you should give it to them straight up until they're 24. And then the time they're 24, they should be able to get a bachelor, master's, whatever.
They
in
should know.
college,
Yeah, they should
trade,
know.
They
how-
should know how
and
to,
just start getting into their career. And
Mhm.
if they can't find a job, I'm sure they'd have some kind of job, right? You don't want to
Yeah.
be 25 and living on the streets.
Yeah.
Not being able to get those checks. But yeah, I really think it should be like that for a lot of people who are going through that kind of trouble. If it's like family not being able to pay for it,
Mhm.
like actual family, I feel like if people are showing that they need the money and they're actually working for it, like school, work, volunteering,
Mhm.
I feel like they should get it, but especially for foster kids.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This was an episode of As Word Spreads. Stay tuned for more of the world as youth see it.